A new exchange student arrives in Konoha village to join Boruto at the Ninja Academy, and Shino gets no damn respect. All that and more in this week's episode of Boruto, Naruto Next Generations. Here is your one and only spoiler warning going forward for the rest of this review, as I can't really talk about this episode without speaking about the true lineage of Mitsuki. It's not like they really try to hide it all in this episode. It's there, plain as day. He's a weird, freaky kid with snake eyes who also happens to communicate with them. Who else in the series is obsessed with snakes? No, I'm not talking about Voldemort or Cobra Commander, I'm talking about Orochimaru. That's right, Mitsuki, the son of Orochimaru, has finally made his first appearance in the Boruto anime series. And just like in the manga version and in the Boruto film, he's honestly my favorite character. But that's just because I'm really intrigued by the concept of Orochimaru actually having a son. I'm also still confounded at the fact that Konoha Village has actually allowed Orochimaru to actually just do his own thing, to resurrect the Hidden Sound Village and try to turn it into more of like a legitimate organization. I still don't really trust the weird, creepy Michael Jackson-esque bastard, but I will say Mitsuki himself is a pretty intriguing character. So this episode pretty much wastes no time in introducing him. It opens up with this one random student who's been expelled from the Ninja Academy, and this guy's just walking around flamethrowering the hell out of everything with his fire-styled techniques. I guess all the guards and police in Konoha Village are having a ramen break because they're just gonna let the academy students take care of this. But the main reason this guy is going on a rampage is because he's been infected by that weird dark chakra, which, thanks to you guys, I have been able to investigate what this weird, sort of freaky summoned chimera beast could be, and apparently it's something which is known as a Japanese mythological yokai, which is a chimera-like creature which has the head of a monkey, the body of a tanuki, the arms and legs of a tiger, and its tail is just a straight-up snake. Not a snake's tail, but the actual head of a snake, because was what we saw in a couple of episodes ago, and I'm not really still sure what this thing's ultimate motive is, but it continues to infect people with its dark chakra and try to control them, and we get to see a number of sequences like that in this week's episode, and a really great cliffhanger ending where Shino himself actually succumbs to the dark purple chakra. But getting back on track, this one flame-spewing ninja ends up getting taken out by this new character by the name of Mitsuki, who has a lot of elements of Orochimaru, mostly the youthful appearance and the incredibly creepy, glowing yellow eyes, but unlike Orochimaru, he seems to be a little bit more of a class act, being very calm and very respectful of all his fellow students, but he does manage to push things just a little too far. There's a number of instances in this episode where he basically oversteps his bounds, like getting up in front of the class to help Boruto with a weird ninja math question, or getting a little too serious in the middle of a sparring match with Iwabe. He goes way too far, but honestly, it was just great to see some real kick-ass action and choreography from the Boruto anime series. There's a great move where he ends up just kicking Iwabe right in the face, and it's some straight-up Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon shit, if you know what I mean. It just looks so damn awesome. It's really clear that Mitsuki himself is holding back and is probably the most powerful student at the academy, aside from Boruto, who is of course protected by plot armor considering that he's the main character. But this entire episode right here was basically just all about the class getting to know Mitsuki and all of his ins and his outs. Of course, the ladies just love him. They think he's super attractive, despite the fact that he looks like goddamn nightmare fuel, and all of the guys seem to resent him a little bit for his incredible abilities, but Boruto's more interesting in actually becoming his friend, which is a quality of Boruto that I really like. He always manages to reach out to people and try to look for the best of them, and of course trying to work with them no matter what the circumstances are. And due to this weird event where Shino decides he's going to throw a big party for Mitsuki coming into town, he decides the best thing to do, which is to make these weird stuffed animals come to life with the use of his bug jutsu. Now, on the surface, that's kind of okay. We're going to get to see some stuffed animals move around. Oh, the kids are going to love that shit. But they're also stuffed animals filled with a bunch of insects. And that's disturbing, especially when this one girl goes over, starts to hug the teddy bear, and suddenly there's a giant swarm of flesh-eating bugs just going all over the place. And Mitsuki tries to get rid of them with one of his wind-style techniques, which just ends up costing more damage to the school, which I have to say I appreciate the actual continuity in the series, showing that the school is still being repaired and that the entire class actually has to work outside. We get another instance where one of the workers who's actually working on the broken down school gets infected by the dark chakra and they are forced to take him down again. And we get a lot of great combination techniques between the characters. We even get some moments with Sarada Uchiha Iwabe, who was particularly awesome in this episode. It was great seeing them all come together. I especially did love the moment too, where it seemed like the guy was about to fall to his death and slam himself right in the head when Boruto was about to go all frickin' Rock Lee on his ass. But Mitsuki actually ends up saving the day and keeping his head from hitting the ground, showing that despite the fact that he comes from one of the most evil ninja in the frickin' Naruto series, he seems to have a lot of heart and genuinely wants to do something really good. There is more to that, but they're going to get into that later as the series actually goes on. But there's also a little bit of mystery to Mitsuki as well, as he's talking to this weird snake at night, which I can only imagine he's probably talking to his father, Orochimaru. But that's still a little bit of the mystery. They're trying to imply that Mitsuki is somehow related to the new or the weird chimera summon, which has been infecting people with its dark chakra. I have a feeling it's something else going on, and Mitsuki himself is just a red herring. I am really interested to see where this is going, considering that this part of the storyline has not been in the manga, and it's something that's completely new and could possibly lead to a really interesting arc. It's just sort of up in the air at the moment. What I will say is, I like this episode for giving us a much better introduction to Mitsuki as opposed to in the actual manga version in the Boruto films, where he's just sort of there, and you have to accept that he's there. I like that they explain a little bit more about the hidden sound village, the fact that it's able to still be around, that he's an exchange student. We just get to have a better feel for the character, and if that's anything, that's probably the biggest accomplishment of this brand new Boruto anime, is that it's doing a better job of introducing us to this time skip world of Naruto. So, what's the rundown on this week's episode of Boruto Naruto Next Generations? Mitsuki's awesome. Really, what more can I say? He's just such a cool, kick-ass ninja. He's like a combination of Orochimaru and Sasuke. He ditches all of Sasuke's douchiness, and he takes on a lot of just the cool, calm demeanor of, like, say, Orochimaru. It's really sort of this perfect combination. He almost seems really oblivious to the fact that he's so incredibly powerful as well, as if it's almost normal for him to go like 100% all the time when he's fighting against people. So one of the biggest struggles for Mitsuki I see going forward in the series is him being able to actually control his incredibly immense power, because as it's been explained in the Boruto manga series, and even in the movies, is that because he is the son of Orochimaru, he has been genetically modified, and Orochimaru was no slouch. He was a pretty powerful ninja. Maybe not towards the end of the series when compared to some of the other godlike characters in the show, but this is not a guy that you want to go up against without some sort of plan in action. And Mitsuki, I'm sure, is going to have a number of abilities which are going to be very awesome and unique to him. We didn't get to see too much of them in this episode, but it is heavily implied that he has the ability to use a lot of different nature-based abilities, such as fire and lightning and wind. This combined with his other unique ability, which was not introduced in the episode, but you can see it plastered all over the manga, the movies, and even the intro of the show, is his ability to actually stretch out his limbs kind of like a snake, which I think is really awesome, and I can't wait to see if that's what's going to be happening in the next episode. And then there's Shino. Shino. This is the part of the episode that hurts me as a Naruto fan, because you'd think at this point, as an adult, Shino would start to get a little more respect, but no, everybody still sort of sees him as kind of a complete joke. And damned if he didn't try in this episode right here, trying to throw that big party for Mitsuki. He comes out in this ridiculous costume that I swear to God looks like something Elton John would wear, and he tries to put on this great party. He desperately just wants to be a really good teacher and bring everyone together, but it ends up just going completely wrong again. He second guesses himself. He goes to the principal, which just so happens to be Iruka, which is very fitting for his character. And when he finally starts to doubt himself is when he actually gets consumed by this dark purple chakra, and he actually asks both Boruto, Mikazuki, and Shikadai to come meet him out in the woods, where he confronts them. He has evil glowing red eyes, and probably even more evil aspirations. They've had to deal with a lot of just random non-superpowered ninjas before that were consumed by this chakra. Now they're going to be dealing with the master of the Aburami clan, the guy who has mastered some of the most devastating and creepy-ass techniques from the series, and I can't wait to see what sort of combinations they're actually going to come up with. I think this is going to be our first real excuse to really see Mitsuki in action and to sort of set the bar for how strong he is and why Boruto and the other characters are going to have to play a little bit of catch-up with him. Either that or maybe we'll even see an extreme weakness of the character, which of course will bring both Boruto and Mitsuki a lot closer together. I can't wait to see Shino in action next week because it's about time we got to see some cool stuff from him, especially in his brand new time skip form, which still continues to look awesome. He looked so damn creepy and cool when he had that glowing red eye that was underneath his visor. So, I liked this episode a lot. I don't think it was perfect. I thought we could have gotten maybe just a little bit more from the episode. Not that much happened outside of, here's Mitsuki, let's have a couple of fights, and Shino becomes evil. But it was still entertaining as hell, especially for people who have been following the series. So I'm going to give this week's episode a 4 out of 5. Check it out, Boruto fans. Make sure to tell me what you thought about this week's episode. What did you think of the introduction of Mitsuki? What do you think of his character overall? Does he have a connection to that weird, freaky, purple chakra monster? Is he entirely something separate? What do you want to see from the rest of the Boruto anime series and beyond? Thank you guys for watching this review. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for all things Boruto anime and manga related. Make sure, of course, to leave me a comment about the episode. I'd love to talk with you guys about it. And if you like this review, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. I'll see you guys next time. And as always, stay dandy, baby.